What's going on? What's happening, fellas? Let's get right into it. So today I'm going to give you guys about 5, maybe 6 ways that you can tell if a woman is a good woman. Now, I will be honest. All right, when I first thought about making this video, I did not think it was totally necessary, because my first thought was it's kind of pretty obvious to tell if a woman is a good woman or not. But then I thought to myself, sometimes it's not easy. All right. Sometimes women can put up on a front where they can tell you that they're a good woman, or at least give you the perception at the beginning that they're a good woman, and then they switch it up on you later. All right. But there are certain signs, okay, and certain things that you can look for where you can pretty much guess that she's a good woman no matter what she tells you. Okay. Because looks can be deceiving. Even words can be deceiving. All right. So these signs that I'm going to give you today, these are kind of automatic. All right. Because if she has all of these signs, it's a great thing. Okay. It's a big green flag, and you probably should take that woman serious. And even if she doesn't have all these signs, let's say she has most of them, 5 out of 7 of them, then she's pretty much a good woman. But if she ain't got any of these signs, fellas, then you need to run. All right. You definitely need to run. She needs to be at least 50% of the list. All right. So let's get right into it. The number one sign where you can tell if a woman is a good woman is if she has a relationship with God. I'm not talking about you guys who claim that you're atheists. Okay. Obviously, this doesn't matter to you. But for the majority of people listening who are either Christian, Muslim, Catholic, whatever you are, all right, the woman that you deal with, and this is probably the biggest reason, the woman that you deal with, bro, she has to have a relationship with God. All right, straight up, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And the reason why is because as morally sound as someone can be, and as much values as someone can have, as good principled and moral and disciplined as somebody is, bro, if they don't have that foundation of God, none of that stuff really matters, because there are going to be times where people's values are definitely going to be questioned. They're going to be tested. There's going to be times where your morals are going to be tested. There's going to be times where the things that you believe in are going to be tested. But the difference maker, whether most people stand on those things that they believe in, is God, because it's backed by more than your own human perception. Okay, guys, so if a woman has a relationship with God, and I'm not just talking about a chick who go to church every Sunday. By all means, going to church, attending service, that is a big deal. That is a green flag. But a woman who actually prays for herself, a woman who actually takes care of these things from a religious aspect, a woman who actually prays for you if y'all start to get serious. Okay, so this is very, very important. For myself personally, if a woman does not have any type of relationship with God, I just don't deal with her. Straight up, and it's not even trying to find the most pious chick out there, or it's not saying that if you're not religious, you're not a good person. That's not what that means. Just from my experience and my observance, I've seen that the best women out there are usually the women who have a good relationship with God. Next type of relationship that a woman needs to have in order to be considered a good woman is a relationship with her father. All right. Now, this one is not all in all, because I know there are times when it's out of the female's control whether or not she has a relationship with her father. Maybe her father is deceased. Maybe her father ran off when she was a young age, or she doesn't have contact with him. But for the most part, if a woman has a good relationship with her father, a good healthy relationship, meaning she sees her father as a respectful, dominant person, then 9 times out of 10, she's going to be a good woman. From my experience and what I've seen, women who were raised by their fathers and women who have strong masculine male role models in their life typically are better women to deal with. They're more submissive because they understand how to adhere to masculine authority. Women who are on the opposite side and who either were not raised by their father or don't have a significant male role model, I've seen, now this is not in all cases because there are outliers, all right, for all police out there. There are some outliers and some unicorns. But for the most part, women who are not raised by their fathers or don't have a dominant male masculine figure in their life, they tend to be a little bit more argumentative. okay, a little bit more masculine. And the reason for this is because they didn't have that male role model. So they haven't been around what you would call a real man. So it's harder for those women to respect and adhere to another man. Okay, it's very simple. It's just like if you spent your whole life and you didn't grow up eating or drinking milk. You never had a glass of milk. But then you get around people who drink milk all the time, you're probably not going to participate it. You know, you're probably not even going to like milk if you actually try it. You probably will love it if you try it, but 9 times out of 10, you won't be sitting there drinking milk with those people. That's a very simple example, but it kind of correlates, okay? If you're not used to it, if you didn't grow up with it, it's going to be that harder for you to adapt to it as you get older. Okay, people who grew up in very disciplined households, they usually become more disciplined individuals as adults. Okay, it's just a simple fact about it. Okay, so make sure that the woman, she has a good relationship with her father if you want to take her serious, fellas. Another sign of a good woman is she takes her health as a priority. Okay, health is a big deal. Health and fitness is a big deal. Whoever says it's not and who ignores this and who shames people for going to the gym or shames people for eating healthy, there is something mentally wrong with that person. Something mentally wrong with that person. Your health is literally the foundation of everything. Without your health, you are not even alive. Okay, you are not even alive. If you have good health, you have literally solved 50% of the problems that you will have on this planet. Probably more. Probably the majority of the problems that you will have. Okay, so if a woman does not take her health as a priority, if she doesn't work out, if she doesn't eat somewhat healthy, if she's not paying attention to her hormones and her body and things like that, fellas, a good chance she's not a good woman. Okay, a good chance she's not a good woman. This is a sticky topic for a lot of people because a lot of people don't like to take accountability on stuff like this and they get offended by stuff like this. Look, G, I'm going to keep it G. Your health is everything. I can tell the quality of a woman by how much she takes care of her health. Now, there are some really bad, toxic women that look great. Their health are in order because that's all they care about, and they don't really care about everything else, like being a good person. So that's a different thing. That's an outlier. But for the most part, I've seen women who take care of their health usually are a pretty good woman. Okay, for the most part. Like I said, there are some outliers out there. But, fellas, health is important. Health, when a woman takes care of her health, that means she loves herself. She values her body and her longevity, meaning how long she's going to live healthy. Okay, so that is a big deal, especially if you are a guy who takes good care of your health. The only type of woman you're going to be able to get along with is women who take care of their health. Because if you try to deal with a woman who doesn't take care of their health, bro, it's going to be a nightmare. It is going to be a nightmare. You guys are going to clash on so many levels. Another way you can tell if a woman is a good woman is if she is not a feminist. All right. Feminism has really gone on a really downward spiral. You know, the point of feminism when it was first created was to just simply give women rights that they didn't have before to allow them to become more productive people in society. But it is going to a point where it's ruining women, it's ruining relationships. I'm not going to blame the downward spiral of society and all on feminism, but it's a big part. All right, it is a big part. I've not met a woman who was a feminist that wasn't a headache and a half, bro. You know, like once I find out a woman is a feminist or she adopts feminist qualities, I immediately discard her. I get rid of her because I don't like this. There's nothing productive about it. You know, feminism isn't even good for women. Okay, but women who are feminists are usually more argumentative. They're less submissive. They're more, you would want to call independent when they're really not. They just pose like they are. So it corrodes their overall sense of life pretty much. But just feminist women, bro, they're just not good people to be around, bro. There's some men out there that are real, that are feminists, and they're even worse. But for the women, bro, good women, you'll never catch a good woman as a feminist. Like you would not. Maybe like an older woman who's like a first wave feminist who was a feminist when they actually stood for something substantial. But now, bro, second and third wave feminists, bro, just stay away from those type of women, bro. Straight up, just stay away from them. So another way you can tell if a woman is a good woman is if she wants to be a mother or a wife. Okay, a mother or a wife. Back to like the feminist stuff is teaching a lot of women that being a mother and being a wife is not important. Okay, and that's why I said it's corroding society, because I believe one of the main objectives of being a woman is being a mother and a wife. You know, like being a man is being a protector and a provider, a husband and a father. So on the opposite side for women, what brings life more joy as a woman and being a mother and a wife? You know, and I don't know about being a woman, but I've heard this from women. Okay, so if a woman doesn't want to be a mother and a wife, guys, what she's basically doing is giving up her natural biological job or her natural biological tendency. Okay, and that just brings so many other problems. I'm sure at some point as a man, you want to have a family that you protect and you provide for. Now, if you just smashing girls or spinning plates or having a rotation, then I guess this point isn't that big of a deal for you. Okay, for the woman, because you're not really taking her serious anyway. But if you plan on taking women seriously, and at some point you want to be in that position to where you're a protector and a provider, you're gonna have to find women who desire to be mothers and wives. Okay, because like I say, even if you're just dating and your goal is not to get married or have children, women who want to be mothers and wives are just usually better women. You know, they're more supportive. They're more nurturing and catering, you know, pretty much, because that's what they want. Because being a mother and a wife, you have to be patient. You have to be able to take care of people that you love. You have to be nurturing and stuff like that. If a woman doesn't want to be that, a mother and a wife, then she hasn't even thought about those qualities. Okay, but like I said, a woman who prides herself as one day she wants to be a mother, one day she wants to be a wife, naturally she's gonna, want to take care if you get sick. Naturally, she's gonna want to cook for you and clean for you and things like that. So she ultimately be a better woman. The last thing that you can know if a woman is a good woman is if two things, fellas. Either she does not have a past, like a whole phase, or if she did, if she so happened to, she made some mistakes, she was young, she was stupid. The only way you can take this, guys, is if she has completely gotten over her past, meaning there is no sign that her past is even relevant to her. Now, there is an argument there. If a woman was once a hoe, she's always going to be a hoe, because at some point, she's always going to want to return back to those habits. I've seen that people change sometimes, okay? People change for the better sometimes, because the thought of the life that they had it's like a nightmare compared to the opposite of the life that they could have if they got on the right track. Okay, so some people can change. But, fellas, you do not take women seriously who are 304s. You do not take women seriously who don't take themselves seriously, basically. Okay, so if a woman has a past, guys, women's past is very important. It's very cliche, but this is very important. A woman's past is pretty much going to tell a good story or give you a good synopsis of how the interaction with her is going to be. And this is from self-experience. Okay, like the women that I've dealt with, they had very distinct past. They usually ended up being in a lot of trouble. And the same worked on the opposite. Women who didn't really have a distinct past, usually it was a lot more easier, pleasant experience. But I've also seen women who did have a past and they changed, they got better, they got closer to God, they switched it up, they're more disciplined, and now you can't even tell that they were like that before. All right, so it really, really depends. But in most cases, women that do have a past, typically it's not a sign of a good woman. All right, typically. All right, not in all cases. All right. So, yeah, fellas. So, like I said, if you find a woman and she has most of these qualities, or if all of these qualities, it's a good chance she's a good woman. There's some other things that you want to check for, guys, but this is the main things. Now, like I said, if she doesn't have any of these qualities, then you should run. And if she only has like one of these qualities, then you should definitely run. All right, so she at least has to have a majority of them, pretty much. Okay, and it's not hard to find women like this, bro. I know nowadays, a lot of guys say it's hard to find good women. I just think that's what you're seeing on social media. and it's just showing you a small piece of the world and not the whole world, because there's a lot of good women out there, bro. A lot of good women. They're just not being publicized by social media, so you don't know that they're out there, but they're out there. All right, guys. So appreciate you guys for watching the video. It's your boy KD. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Y'all make sure if y'all have any suggestions for videos, either drop them in the comments or shoot me a DM on Instagram. Don't forget to like the video. We out of here, baby.